So nice to have you here. I wanted to talk about something today for the young people that are getting into the business, and they might want to be a sound engineer. They might want to do other things in life, touring, but I think sound is a lot of fun. It's a challenging thing and very rewarding, and I've really enjoyed my career doing it, so I want to keep doing it, but I'm too old to do it, so that's not going to work. Now, what I'm telling you about the young people. When you study, and you need to study all the technical aspects you can, especially today as in networking, there's a lot of areas that you need to get very familiar with and can think fast. Live sound, believe it or not, is about thinking fast and getting things done in a short amount of time. That showtime can't extend it because you can't figure out why something's not working. So anyway, I'll get to the point here, and the point is you need those things that I said in education, and also music. I think music propelled me through my career more than anything, really, that I could communicate with music to the band whenever we would talk on stage at sound checks, and I pretty much understood things that they were asking me, and likewise, I think they mostly understood. We're a team. We're working together. You know, they bake the cake, we serve it. So we're all working together. You got to have that communication with the people you're working with. So the music helps. So here we said with music, and then we got so many ways of working with music nowadays, and one that I do want to talk about is I'm sorry. That I do want to talk about today is the fact of using, say for instance, when you graduate out of college, you have some business cards made, and maybe you've had a little experience in one area, and you get some business cards made, which is always a nice thing to do at the spur of the moment, to be able to hand somebody some way of them getting back in touch with you. So that's a real good way. So what do you put on your business card? Do you put, in my case, Buford Jones, sound engineer? Do I put Buford Jones, live sound engineer? Do I put Buford Jones, audio engineer? That's the key word, and I said it too early. I wanted to get one more in there on that chain of three different thoughts, and audio engineer. That covers a very broad range of different jobs in the music business. So that's what I would suggest to you. And really, I said, well, I'll choose live sound to go into, and that's great. There's a lot of courses and schools available across the United States. And but also keep in mind, as much as varying information, studios, I don't know, they're becoming fewer and fewer as we used to think of a studio and what it does. Even then, I wouldn't want to call myself a recording engineer. I'm an audio engineer. So that means I can mix sound on television. That means I can mix sound live. That means I can mix sound in the studio. And to me, there's no difference. Well, I'm a studio mixer and I'm a live sound mixer. Well, what's the difference? Just the environment. That's all. The music isn't changed. They still play verses and choruses the same one they did in the studio. They play that live. You know, the one thing that the live engineer against a recording engineer, talking years back, is the fact that live sound engineers don't have a rewind button, and we don't have a stop button. Live engineers have to do it on the first take. They're like, well, let's keep working on this. We'll finally get it sounding good. No, you got to do it pretty fast and bring it together with acoustics changing on you day to day. So there's some pretty important parts there that you got to come with. So if you get my point about your business card and the way you apply yourself in the industry as you go, that you do like those things, recording music, playing music, mixing live sound that interests you, and all the other ways you can think about audio that you enjoy tinkering with. Well, once again, have your card read audio engineer, and you can go to these different areas. I always really wanted to mix television, but cards just didn't fall that way. And to give you an example of what I'm talking about, I went to TNN. This would have been, I think it was 1990. And so it's a few years ago. It's about 35 years ago. And the head audio man there, and really what I wanted to do, because at that point I'd been traveling 30-something years constantly in live touring year-round. And so I wanted to stay home. I wanted to remember the names of my kids, and I wanted to remember how to get home without a GPS to take me to my home. Oh, anyway, I just wasn't around that much. So I got thinking about it, and I really wanted to work in Nashville. I just really did. So I went to a production place called TNN. Now, many of you have heard of that, and it's a great company. And what they've done in the music world, live entertainment world for years has been incredible. And so I thought, hey, I'd like to go to work for TNN, and I could mix television. That always sounded really good to me. To mix, again, a live show or an album, whatever you want to call it, just to mix it in a good, tight atmosphere that you could truly hear every note coming out of those speakers and not resonance from the hall. So, yeah, I like mixing in the studio. And so just come up and so it mix. Okay. So I went to TNN and I applied for a job. Well, the head audio person in charge of audio, TNN, interviewed me. I think he knew my name, and I played golf with several of his employees, and I knew them. I think everybody knew each other. I was just going to him asking for a job. Maybe I already said it. I want to remember where the names of my kids are and how to get home without a GPS. That's why I'm asking for a job here. Two main things, but really is that I enjoy mixing live audio. And I think I could be of assistance to you. Well, he says, well, we've heard of guys, Beeford, you got an amazing resume. You just got this incredible log of people that you worked with. People that's done things like that, they come in here and they get bored real fast. That's weird. I don't know if I understand that, but okay. Well, what do you want me to do? The fact is that, one night you'll be mixing a band, maybe, and the next night you'll be mixing a talk show and have two microphones. What's wrong with that? He said, well, these live engineers work for these people you have, they don't like it. I was like, what? Chance, I'll do it. I would love to do it. It still sounds fascinating to me. Take two vocal mics and just the whole time dialing in compression and see how compression really works its fullest. And I'd want to, just process them to the hilt, but where it couldn't be detected. I think that's a nice part of producing audio. You can do it non-detected and control the sound of that device. So, at any rate, he wasn't going to take me, and he said he'd give it a week to think about it, and I asked several of my friends that work for TNN, push for me if you can. So he called me back a week later, just on the phone on this interview, and he said, yeah, Beeford, I'm sorry, I can't do anything for you. And boy, what a blow that was. And that's okay. If I'd never been turned down for a job that I remember in my line of work. And but anyway, it's not so much a being turned down. It's the reason I was turned down. What? Because I have some nice credits on my resume and you think I'm going to be over top? Tell you what, I've dealt with intimidation for too long. And I wish people wouldn't address me like that. And meaning that because you might hang a platinum record on the wall or something, oh, he's big time, he's worked with so-and-so. I've had people here in my studio that barely will pick up a guitar and play because they're just so worried about my career, my resume, and what I've done. Hey, I'm no different than anybody else on this planet. I'm just trying my best to get through life the best I can. And I was sat there in the middle of this music thing. I was in the right place at the right time. And it just flowed really well for me. So I'm real pleased with that and for that. And so what was the story of the TNN and not being able to get a job mixing on TV? And well, I think that's where that audio engineer comes in, and the problem with, having a too extensive resume, I don't know to tell you how to deal with that. That's a weird one. Nonetheless, have your business card read audio engineer. And then you go work in the TV if you want to. You go work live if you want to. You go in the recording studio if they still exist. Or you go wherever you go to blend sound together. So that's where I'll say. And even once, standing there recording, they're doing this and doing that, different subjects, audio is still audio. We still do it 20 to 20K. We have bass, treble. Same in the studio, same live. Same everywhere else you're confronted with it. Just EQ is a part of it all. The chain of process of mixing is all incorporated. Live sound, recorded sound, what have you. Some fit the environment a little bit better than the other. I may agree with that and your workflow. But what I'm trying to say is to be categorized. Well, he's a live sound mixer. He couldn't work at his recording studio. And likewise, this recording engineer can't mix live sound because he doesn't have a rewind button. Well, I don't know. It's just something to think about. That's all I'm telling you. I don't know if I got the answer to any of it, but I think you see my point. Just have a wide open business card. Have a wide open mind when you start studying whatever field you study in. Audio covers a big ground, and if you really desire placing instruments in a farm and hearing the outcome of that, and knowing that you created it, and you know that it's very complex, and that's very satisfying. And you can do that in many places, not just live. So live was for me, and I really enjoyed it, and it's been a wild ride, to say the least. So I just thought I'd give you those points and let you go over that. So it's nice talking with y'all. I might try to do this again. I might put some parts of this up. I'm not sure. But anyway, do check with me again, and I appreciate you coming back, hitting the button, the subscribe button, and the like button. I mean, what else would you hit? Everybody asks that, don't they? I mean, I think y'all know how to operate YouTube by now, which I think is the greatest platform that ever happened for learning. You can see the world through YouTube by choice. See the world, good and bad. And that's an education we've never had the opportunity to have before. So we have a lot of things developing in AI and how AI is going to affect live sound. So we're going to talk about that too in a little bit, okay? But thank you again for being here. We really appreciate it. You've been watching pretty much nothing all this time, and I'm very sorry. So we'll see you on the next go-round. Thank you very much.